Greetings, fellow Earthicans. Today we'll be changing the battery of a Vortech GMT by Momentum by St. Moritz. This watch uses a ISA or ISA-Swiss 8176/2050. Immediately, the first thing I notice is that the watch case has the words "Do not open" on it. And I don't know about you, but when I see the words "Do not open" on something, it generally makes me want to open it even more. So I'm going to use a Jacksaw wrench to open up the rear case cover, which is very scratchy for some reason to open. You can kind of hear in the video, it kind of sounds like sandpaper almost with the way it was scratching. So on the movement spec sheet of the 8176, right where the battery is, there's a tab that goes over it that is closed by a screw. So initially I thought, oh yeah, unscrew it. Easy, right? On a closer view of this particular one, it seems they changed the screw to like a weird half circle like screw. So here's a zoomed in video of it. And the trick to get this off actually is probably with like a really tiny pair of pliers, like those needle nose ones, or tweezers if they're strong enough. But hindsight is 2020, and in this video I actually did not do that, and instead used good old-fashioned brute force, which is what you should not be doing. And you won't believe what happens. So yeah, that was fun to find. Anyways, once that bar piece is out of the way, it is pretty easy to take out the battery. This ISO-Swiss movement uses a 395 or 399 battery. So here we go, placing the battery. And then what I'm going to be doing is using a small screwdriver, just pushing the half circle of that weird screw piece to loosen it up a little bit, so that when I put this bar back over the battery, it is easier to kind of put that hook over the neck of the screw. So I'm going to be zooming in here in a sec, and I'm going to show you how I tighten the bolt too. And you just find the leftmost part of that little half circle piece, and you just keep pushing it. It's a little finicky, but once you kind of have enough resistance on it, it should stay in place. And as you can see, the watch is alive, which is great, because we got to put this little plastic movement piece back in, the movement holder, which has a little plastic tab that you kind of have to align on this side opposite to the crown, and push it in from there with some nice sounding clicks, by the way. Then you get the, I want to say gasket, make sure that's on properly before twisting on the rear case. And that is pretty much it in terms of replacing the battery on this movement watch. Information of the movement that is part of this watch can be found in the description below, where I'll give you a link directly to the PDF file of the movement. So as I kind of fiddle and play around with the watch here, trying out different GMT settings and the alarm, I figured it's a good opportunity to talk about this company, which is the St. Moritz Watch Corporation, which I guess owns the Momentum watch brand that they use, and they're apparently based in Vancouver, Canada. Although this Vortech appears to be out of production, the Momentum website shows that they are still selling plenty of watches today with an emphasis on outdoor functionality and durability. You can tell this watch company really likes very outdoorsy, strong sounding names, like the Wayfinder GMT, Splash, Smoke Jumper, Torpedo Pro, even Steelix, which is like a Pokemon, isn't it? Back to the watch though. As you can see, I'm trying to like figure it out and fiddle with it because I don't like reading instructions. And when you pull the crown out to the first step, which is not all the way out that you change the time, but just a little bit before that, that first little kind of click, when you turn it counterclockwise, that is where you change the alarm time, which is 12 hours only. And if you turn it clockwise, you change the date. The reason why I mentioned that the alarm is 12 hours only is because once you set the alarm time, the first instance of that hour going through it, that's it. It's going to go off. There's no AM, PM for it. So you got to set it the night before. So the other hand I'm adjusting here is the GMT one, which you can adjust by pressing that top button as shown and holding it. You can also press it to adjust it ever so slightly. I'm not too familiar with the uses of a GMT movement. I know it's good for keeping track of time zones, and you can also use it as a compass only if you're on the northern hemisphere. But yeah, that's all I really know about it. If you know other functions a GMT might have, I would love to hear about it in the comments, as I am still learning and love learning about these sort of things. When this watch was thrifted, it did not have a spring bar for one of the leather band parts, so I'm just quickly replacing it here. And as you can see, very professionally of course. So once that spring bar is in place, I'm just going to give it a few tugs to make sure that it's in there securely. And that is pretty much it for this watch. Overall, I'm pretty happy on how this kind of came out and how the watch looks in general. It does have a nice style to it. And that is it for this video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.